Today on CityCast Las Vegas, Spotlight Poetry founder El Hope helps us explain why a viral local baker got shut down. Our creative producer Rob Katchelreese dives into why Henderson Hospital is ending its maternity and NICU services. We're hitting you with another Good News Friday. And in our members-only bonus segment, we'll tell you which Vegas hotel is using some shady tactics to get guests to book with them. But before we get to all of that, we got to talk about a new Dr. Seuss exhibit over at the Venetian. This one's pretty cool. Apparently, it's called the Art of Dr. Seuss Collection. It runs until August 30th at the Animazing Gallery at the Grand Canal Shops. Just a celebration of all things Dr. Seuss. And Elle, I'm curious, you're the poet of the group here. Are you a Dr. Seuss fan? And if so, what's your favorite Dr. Seuss book?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel like everyone, is a Dr. Seuss fan. He does have a bit of a shady past, so we'll just ignore those things.
We'll ignore that one for now, right?
I think it was some questionable caricatures that appeared in some of the early books, right?
I wonder if that's in this collection.
Using the term fan very loosely, but childhood fan, of course. And I think my favorite is everyone's all-time favorite, Oh, the Places You'll Go. I do remember getting that book in my high school graduation from a family member. And I originally was like, oh, okay, this is cute. I don't know what I'm going to do with this right now. Like this children's book. Okay.
That is funny as a high schooler when you're graduating. Go into the world with Dr. Seuss.
Right. Like interesting.
Yeah. That is so interesting. Rob, what about you? Is there a Dr. Seuss book that you've always got on hand?
Yeah, I'm more of a hop on pop type of guy.
Oh, okay.
I remember my parents reading that to me. So I'd be like, okay, I'm going to hop on pop. And I would jump on my dad's belly. And I don't think he liked that too much.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Can I give a shout out to Dr. Seuss for, even though he may have some questionable artwork in the past, I believe Horton Hears a Who was kind of a story of tolerance and inclusivity and equality. So I think he kind of made good on that.
Horton Hears a Who was my first existential crisis. I was like, what do you mean we're just a speck on this planet?
Exactly.
That's crazy to me.
The whole world living in a speck of dust, right?
Right. Yeah. Crazy.
That's so funny. Yeah, mine I guess was a little more innocent. I loved green eggs and ham as a kid. We used to make green eggs and ham with the dye and everything. I thought that was always kind of funny. So that was the first one that popped into my mind on that one.
You turned it into an interactive, immersive story, Jesse.
Yeah, we did. And now when you say that, though, I wonder if this exhibit's going to have green eggs and ham. Not the book, but actual green eggs and ham.
I know, some
I feel
catering.
like they'd be missing an opportunity if they don't, yeah. Speaking of pretty cool things, though, we're actually cleaning out our swag closet here at CityCast Las Vegas. We've got our pennants. You guys have seen those, the ones adorned with I Live Here on Purpose and the Welcome to Las Vegas sign, a CityCast exclusive. Also, too, we're giving away some tote bags as well. Rob, do you have a favorite piece of swag that we've got?
I do like the pennant, and I also like the tote bags because you can put whatever you like into there and maybe go to Trader Joe's and use that instead of, do they charge you $0.25 for using their bags? I don't remember or not. But the tote bag.
I don't think Trader Joe's does, but a lot of the other ones around town, yeah, like Sprouts charges.
Maybe if you're in that socialist utopia, California, they charge you for the plastic bags. But no, I love the tote bag. But like I said, we have our digital dusty box of swag stuff to give away. So if somebody has been thinking about becoming a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor, now's the time to do it. You get either a tote or an Oxford pennant made by the real Oxford pennant people. Make your choice. We'll ship it to you. And you get all the cool stuff like ad-free listening. You get a bonus segment like the one we're going to have in this episode today. And also you get invitations to our members only event. And we got one coming up very soon. Trivia night at the Hard Rock Cafe on the Strip with happy hour pricing and other cool stuff. You can win some prizes. Just sign up to be a member. It's $10 a month or $100 for a year to support local journalism. And being a member of the Vegas community, I think it more than pays for itself.
Again, go to membership.citycast.fm/Las Vegas. The link to that is also in the show notes of today's episode to make it super easy for you. So we'd love to have you guys join us. And again, get access to so many of the great perks along with these free swag gifts as well.
And the events are so much fun. Like meeting everybody, everybody gets along. Like you don't even really need to introduce people. They just kind of mix and mingle on their own. It's very organic. It's locals who love being locals in Vegas.
And I'm really excited, too, because this is actually going to be my first time going to one of the events since I've been the host here at CityCast. I wasn't able to make it to the one we did over at Ferguson's at F the Bar. I can't wait for this one at the Hard Rock Cafe just to get a chance to meet everybody and meet all of our neighbors. It should be a really great time.
Jesse Merrick's debut. in front of real people.
I know. Yeah, I'm real. I swear, we're not using AI to create me.
Well, not yet.
Yeah, not yet at least, right? With that, guys, let's get it rolling, all right? It's Friday, August 14th. I'm Jesse Merrick, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. Southern Nevadans are the water smartest, and we've saved 200 billion gallons over the years. That's thanks to residents, HOAs, and businesses following watering schedules and replacing grass with water-smart landscaping. Golf courses are doing their part too. They operate within water budgets, and resorts do too, accounting for just 7% of the valley's water use. And even developers follow strict water-smart building codes too. So thank you for doing your part, and keep saving water where it matters most, outdoors. You can learn more at snwa.com. SNWA is a not-for-profit water agency. All right, Elle and Rob, before we dive into this first story, cinnamon rolls, okay? Where does it rank on your hierarchy of baked goods?
Oh, it's pretty high. It's pretty high. It's definitely top 5. I think.
Yeah.
It's probably 3. I got to do
Okay.
cookies.
I like
Cookies
that.
first because
Cookies
are
always
just,
have to win.
You know,
yeah.
they do. And then give me like a really good chocolate croissant. That's probably my 2.
See, now you're speaking my love language right there. Yeah.
You know, like a fresh one. Ooh, and then cinnamon rolls are right underneath.
You know, I think if you take the cookie and add a scoop of ice cream on top, that seals the deal.
You preaching
man.
right
And
now.
a nice warm cookie that's going to melt that ice cream.
Yeah, I've talked about it on the pod recently that Public Us has a banana brownie ganache croissant. So they've kind of like mixed brownies and croissants together. Good God, it's insane. Elle, I can see you. The folks at home can't see you.
Dangerous.
You have to try it. Yes, you have to go try it. It is so good. I think I've talked about it like 5 times on the pod. Like, definitely worth checking out. That to me would be like number 1 on the list, and then everything else. Cinnamon rolls would be very close behind that, especially the center bite ones for sure. And again, I know that's in the news here, and locally here, a viral baker was just killing it. But then the city stepped in. Elle, what's going on here?
I know. It's really sad. Lindsay Skolnick started the bakery Mama Llama Bakery, which I love that name.
Great name.
Mama Llama.
It just flows, yeah.
I love it. So Mama Llama Bakery started from her home after developing her famous cinnamon rolls during her second pregnancy, building what began as a way to bake from home while raising her children. And then her business blew up with like over 100,000 Instagram followers. Incredible.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And it's amazing, actually. And so Skolnick says that she believes she took all the necessary steps, right? So she established her LLC, she got her cottage food license, her Clark County business license, and even went all the way to talk with her HOA and landlord before scaling her business up to meet that demand. Because she had gone through those processes and understood the cottage food business side, she believed she was permitted to schedule on-site porch pickups. And her business grew rapidly through social media, and customers were picking up pre-ordered cinnamon rolls from the shelves that she had set outside her home. And Skolnick says that she intentionally spaced out those pickup times to minimize disruption to her neighbors. However, on August 3rd, Clark County Code Enforcement visited her home following a complaint about customers coming to the property, and she subsequently received a notice of violation requiring her to stop the operation unless she obtains additional approval to let people onto her home. The county says that while Skolnick does have a business license, like she does have her cottage bakery license, she can operate, that license specifically prohibits on-site customers. So Clark County has these really specific zoning rules which require a special permit for customers or clients to visit home-based businesses, which is interesting because I feel like this is a new thing that's really spreading across the valley, these cottage bakeries.
Yeah.
It doesn't just include, actual baked goods. I see people selling these really elaborate matchas and coffees from home, all the way down to seafood boils. So
seafood boils?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Isn't that crazy? No, the craziest one is actually Kool-Aid pineapple slices.
Oh, what? Sugar upon sugar upon sugar.
Literally. A lot of people may not know what a cottage food operation is. Essentially, it is just a small food business operated from a person's private home, which is different from a traditional commercial bakery permit, which has a lot more framework to it, right? There's permits that are required, there's plan reviewing, inspections. And so, with Lindsay growing at such a scale, the county is really cracking down on her. Like, you can't continue to operate like this because you're no longer a cottage bakery, you're becoming a commercial bakery. So she's dealing with that transition right now and how to scale her business in a way that is hopefully not going to disrupt too much of, her livelihood and income in this. But yeah, I think it's really fascinating.
Yeah, it's an interesting deal. And like the other thing that's kind of crazy too, because there's a limit, right? Isn't it like $35,000 in goods sold or something like that she hadn't hit just yet?
This is true. So there are some rules when it comes to maintaining a cottage food business. So obviously you have to be registered as such, and you can only operate within your private home kitchen. So only the kitchen. This is also fascinating that you cannot sell the food as wholesale to restaurants, grocery stores, distributors, and that also counts as yourself as a distributor. The sale itself can't take place online. So you can't sell the food online. You have to
Oh.
sell it in person. So that's kind of tricky because how do you do that?
Yeah, it sounds like
Yeah.
there's a lot of limitations on how to unload the product, so to speak.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And well, my thing, like, I don't know, like, Rob, I'd love your take. Like, help me understand why it would make sense to not be able to sell it online when the big complaint here is people coming to your house to get it, right? Isn't that, I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting, Elle, because you said she tried to kind of space out the pickups, thinking that would be a good thing. And I wonder if instead of doing that, there was a set time or two where everybody could just come get their stuff and then leave. So there's not the constant flow and interruption and traffic in what's a residential neighborhood. One of my favorite cottage bakeries is a business called Desert Bread. And I think they might have evolved to work or distribute outside the home at this point. But when I used to check out their stuff all the time, these are really smart chefs who are making great stuff. And they had 2 pickup times each week. And to be fair, zoning is in place for a reason. So
Yeah.
if you're zoned for housing, you're not zoned for a business.
Yeah, and I think to your point there, Rob, like I think if and when this all gets resolved in some way, shape, or form, there needs to be some language in there from the county, I think, that would, limit what HOAs can do if the county is approving these types of things, or just like, I don't know, make the communication be a little bit easier there. Because obviously HOAs have a lot of power in some of these situations.
HOAs have all the power. You try to limit that. It's tough.
That's
it's
why I
tougher
don't have
than
a damn
fighting City Hall.
HOA. Yeah, I try to avoid that like the plague.
Oh,
I
I
don't
do.
do.
Mine has
Yeah.
traffic cameras in our neighborhood.
Oh,
Ooh,
man, that's
the
a whole nother can of
snitches.
worms.
Yeah.
Snitches, yeah. But it is kind of crazy, too, because with this whole thing, again, like people coming and getting it, impacting the neighborhood and everything, which I totally get. Like, as a neighbor, I'm all for my neighbors making money off of whatever it is they do out of their home and everything. But, like, you don't want this constant flow of cars cruising through. So does it almost feel like with this business model, like, it's acceptable to a point? Like, blow up, but don't blow up too big? That kind of feels like the case here.
So I do think we need regulations that protect these cottage bakeries and also protect the neighbors, within those spaces. But we also need to develop a clear pathway for those entrepreneurs to grow because it seems unfair that we ask people to dream big, but we make the process of becoming successful a punishment and shut them down. So I think maybe Clark County can establish more of a trackway for cottage bakeries, having established meetings like similar with commercial bakery permitting. You have to have a certain plan laid out. It could be the same with these cottage bakeries. Like if you're starting here, these are the steps you can take as you continue grow as a business. Just an option.
Because if you get too big, then what do you do next? If you can't distribute your items out of the home, what's the next step? Going to maybe a farmer's market? So now you have an added expense for transportation, renting a section of that farmer's market to set up your booth and everything else that goes with that. I mean, it really kind of takes on a life of its own if you're too successful.
Yeah, and Lindsay's situation too. She's a mom of 2 kids, so that's a whole other thing you have to add into that factor now. You got to take the kids to the farmers market, maybe find a nanny. Those are more expensive. So I do think there needs to be more transparency in the permit. But she has spoke publicly that she plans to actually move her bakery location into possibly a new commercial space. So that's really exciting for her. I'm happy that this attention has garnered something positive. And hopefully, other cottage home bakers, they can see this as a warning and make those adjustments.
Hey there, it's Jesse from CityCast Las Vegas. You know from listening to this podcast that we love this city and we want it to be better. When we get fired up about paid parking downtown or the confusing stuff the LVCVA does with our tax dollars, it's because we live here too. We have skin in the game, so that's why I'm asking you to become a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor. You can join our membership program for $10 a month or $100 a year and invest directly in this team of locals, which means that we can cover the stories that affect us all. And your membership gets you some great perks, including access to our exclusive events. These are in-person events just for our CityCast Las Vegas neighbors. Things like a craft cocktail course at Ferguson's, or access to our neighbors-only holiday party we held last year at Crush Pad Wine Bar. And we're already planning our next members-only event. So join now so you don't miss it. Go to membership.citycast.fm/Las Vegas. Again, that's membership.citycast.fm/Las Vegas. Thank you, neighbor. All right, so speaking of things being shut down, we got another deal going down in Henderson here at the Henderson Hospital, Rob. Why are the NICU and maternity services being shuttered at the Henderson Hospital?
Yeah, it's a long story. We're talking about the healthcare industry here. And like all industries, there's a product to sell. And in this case, it's space or rooms in Henderson Hospital, which is operated by Valley Health. And that's a part of Universal Health Services, a company that is traded on the stock market. And just to keep in mind, that stock is down about 27% over the past 6 months. Now, this week, the hospital announced it was doing away with maternity services and its NICU. So that's the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, which is a specialized ward for if babies are born prematurely or maybe underweight or have another serious condition. Now, this wasn't really a surprise. A nurse from the hospital actually launched a petition on change.org back in May in hopes of saving these services. And I think it got about 4,000 signatures since then. Just a little bit more than the petition to save Mama Llama's cinnamon roll service.
Priorities, right?
So we see where the support is in Las Vegas for this kind of stuff.
Cinnamon rolls are a powerful thing, okay?
It is. It brings people together.
What they're going to do is they're going to turn this into the NICU itself will be renovated to add med-surg beds, medical surgery, and the maternity ward itself will be converted into another 32 medical surgery rooms. And that's really where the money and the traffic and the activity is in the ER as well as med-surg services.
I think this one's kind of interesting because it's like, okay, I get it's a business, but doesn't it seem kind of gross for medical services like this, especially when it's including women's health and children's health in particular, that like it's just a straight dollars and cents decision here? Isn't that kind of wild?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Unfortunately, I don't feel like it's anything brand new that, women's health services are kind of always put on the back end of conversations like this. I'm really curious to see how the surrounding hospitals absolve all of those incoming clients and how they're able to handle it, because that's going to require more funding. That's going to require more staff. So we'll see.
To clarify, you'll still have emergency services at Henderson Hospital. But this is the thing. Your hospital isn't based purely on location when it comes to maternity services. It's usually about your doctor. Is your doctor in network? Does your doctor have a preferred hospital? So keep in mind, Southern Nevada in general has a shortage of doctors and medical professionals in general. But doctors, they do residencies here. Then they take jobs in other parts of the country. And that's been an ongoing problem for a long time. So you take Henderson Hospital, which is relatively new. It opened, I want to say about 10 years ago. And, maybe there's just not enough doctors driving traffic there. Sunrise Hospital is already much busier when it comes to maternity services. Dignity Health, the St. Rose Dominican Siena campus in Henderson has a lot more of those services as well. And that's one of the things Henderson Hospital cited was kind of like a lack of referrals.
I think it's kind of interesting because, again, like declining birth rates everywhere, we can all have that discussion. But like, is that enough to just keep, the services like being cut? Like, at what point do you reach a thing where you're like, oh, well, yeah, declining birth rates, all this stuff. Like, people are still going to need those services at some point, right?
There's so many different factors. And one of them is Medicaid, which is not a big money driver for hospitals. Medicaid covers about 42% of all births in Nevada. Under the Trump administration, as we've talked about, there's less Medicaid to go around these days. In addition to that, NICUs, they can be level 1, 2, or 3, kind of like Michelin stars. You got 3 levels. Henderson is a level 3. And accreditation could be a factor to attain and maintain your level. NICU staff is expensive too. It's higher paid nurses, they're getting critical care pay, and that's not even counting all the support staff that goes along with that.
It is kind of interesting though, like you said, they're a level 3 in terms of the NICU unit and everything. They upgraded from a level 2 back in 2020. So it seemed like things were moving in the right direction until then. So like that's just a weird one of like, well, you upgraded it and then now you're cutting it all together, 6 years later? So you would imagine now cutting these services as families potentially move into that area. Again, they're having to go further for all these things. So from like a growth perspective of the way it's been all planned out, that seems kind of odd too, doesn't it?
I looked at the statistic and 20.8% of Henderson residents are 65 and older. So that could be interesting because maybe the services that the Henderson Hospital right now aren't the services that they should prioritize. Not to say that it isn't a growing city where we are getting, new families moving in, but I think it's growing differently. I don't think it's growing in births. I think it's growing with couples who are retired moving into that section of the city because it's a little bit quieter, Well,
that's where all that med surge business comes from. I mean, cancer and knee replacements. That's what's filling up the hospitals. That's what's driving the revenue there.
I understand it from that perspective, but God, it still just seems like gross on the surface level when you break it down that way. Hey there, it's Jesse from CityCast Las Vegas. You know from listening to this podcast that we love this city and we want it to be better. When we get fired up about paid parking downtown or the confusing stuff the LVCVA does with our tax dollars, it's because we live here too. We have skin in the game, so that's why I'm asking you to become a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor. You can join our membership program for $10 a month or $100 a year and invest directly in this team of locals, which means that we can cover the stories that affect us all. And your membership gets you some great perks, including access to our exclusive events. These are in-person events just for our CityCast Las Vegas neighbors. Things like a craft cocktail course at Ferguson's, or access to our neighbors-only holiday party we held last year at Crush Pad Wine Bar. And we're already planning our next members-only event. So join now so you don't miss it. Go to membership.citycast.fm/Las Vegas. Again, that's membership.citycast.fm/Las Vegas. Thank you, neighbor. All right, guys, so we've talked about a lot of closures and bad things so far, which I guess sometimes is like just how news goes. But we've got a new segment that we debuted a couple weeks ago called Good News Friday, and that's what this is for. Like on days when we're talking about things that kind of suck, we're like, you know what? Maybe we should actually concentrate on some good news. So that's what we're doing. It's Good News Friday. We're going to dive into some good news from this week that has you guys just feeling good about Vegas as a whole. Maybe it's a restaurant opening, something cool that happened in the news. I don't know, a good gesture that someone made, whatever it is. So Elle, we'll start with you. I want to know what your good news is on this Friday.
For sure. So my good news is I'm really excited. Spotlight Poetry is a literary arts nonprofit that I run out here in Las Vegas. And we got accepted to be partners with the Eccentric Artists Festival. And if you're not familiar with what that festival is, it's an epic 2-part event. So this month is going to be the film festival section of it. And they have a bunch of Las Vegas film and art directors showcasing their own pieces. And then later in October, they have a live event with performances, tables, activations, and it's truly an incredible space. So receiving that news that we'll be able to participate with them again for a second year is really exciting. And I'm also
That's awesome.
really thrilled that they are continuing this tradition. I think this is their 4th or 5th annual event. And it just really warms my heart that local arts are able to come together and thrive here in Las Vegas, despite all of the gentrification, the loss of funding, all these different battles that we're fighting, parking.
Yeah. Don't trigger us.
Especially me. I always make it about parking on this podcast.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Don't get Rob started.
It's a real thing. So I'm really excited.
Plenty of parking at the festival.
Yeah.
Oh, plenty. Yes. It's going to be great. And so I'm really excited that the arts are continuing to thrive down here in Las Vegas. I feel like there's always these critiques of there's no culture in Las Vegas and there's no arts and culture out here, which it just simply is not true.
Where should they go to get more information on not only, Spotlight Poetry, but also this event as well?
For sure. You can find everything on Instagram. So you can follow Spotlight Poetry at Spotlight Poetry LV. And if you want to get more information about the Eccentric Artist Festival, you can follow them on Instagram. It's at eccentricartists.space. They have a website as well with more information about the festival that I encourage you to go check out.
Awesome. Definitely check that out, and congrats to you guys. That's awesome to continue to get into that partnership and really get things rolling there. Rob, we'll get to your good news of the week to close out the segment, because I know you'll riff on my good news of the week, and I'm kind of cheating a bit here because it's a restaurant opening, or I guess a bar opening, but Cobra Clutch opening downtown. That's one that I've kind of been looking forward to. I'd heard the rumblings about it. We talked about it on the pod a couple times.
And I told you what the name meant.
Yeah, what was it again? Now I forget. Actually,
it's Sergeant Slaughter's Finishing Hold.
Yes,
from like 1984.
Yeah. Good. But like I've seen all the videos and stuff coming out of there. It looks cool. Like their drinks, they got one that is actually like a Cobra mug. Like I just think that sounds awesome. Yeah.
And I kind of love that good news for you is more booze.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, good news is more booze. That could be a good way to tag it here. We might have a trend rolling on Good News Friday now. But that's one of the ones that's on my list. I can't wait to check it out. Their drinks look great. It's from the folks behind Milpa and also Nocturno, two places that I love. So how would this one not be a great spot to go check out?
No, I think you picked a good one. I still need to check that place out too. My choice kind of is booze adjacent.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. Getting boozy on this Friday. I love it.
Yeah, so I'm going to give a shout out to Station Casinos because people love blackjack in Las Vegas. And people always complain that we don't have enough 3-2 blackjack like we used to, especially on the Strip, but also in some of the neighborhood casinos as well. And Jesse, do you understand the difference between 3-2 blackjack versus 6-5 blackjack?
I don't. Thank you for the explanation, because I am not a gambler at all. So please explain.
To be honest, I'm not a gambler either. So I had to kind of look up what the difference is here.
Yeah.
So it has to do with how much you wager and how much you get in return. So 3-2, if you bet $10 and you win, you get 15 back. 6-5, you bet $10, you get 12 back. I mean, you still win, you still get a little something, but it's not as much as you used to. But they have poolside blackjack that's now 3-2 terms. So they introduced it at the Red Rock Casino, and I believe it's on weekends, Friday through Sunday, 11 to 6. I mean, that's when you're going to be by the pool. And then Durango, which has a beautiful backyard pool area. It's literally called the Bel Air Backyard. I live near there, as I always talk about on this podcast, and I try to make it over there. So maybe I'll experiment and test my luck with a little blackjack. They're offering it, I believe it's the same times, Friday and Saturday, but also on Sundays, 1 to 8. And then I think on Monday afternoons, they're offering it as well. So you know what? Let's bring back more customer-friendly casino games. Let's start with blackjack. It's everybody's favorite table game. Shout out to Station Casinos. Let's get out there and make some money.
Yeah, big time. We always talk about like needing to find a way to get locals back, and like who else better to do so than a locals casino, and really leaning into like helping folks possibly earn a bit more money or have more of an edge, and things like that to gain more of that money, put it back in their pockets. I love it. I'd seen that it was poolside. I just didn't know that it was the 3-2. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, you could just round out summer that way. The weather's still a little muggy. It's still a little hot. Go hang out by the pool and maybe win a few bucks.
It's time now for our members-only bonus segment, and today we're diving into Oyo's shady moves to get people to stay at their hotel. But you're only going to hear this members-only bonus segment if you're one of our CityCast Las Vegas neighbors. So if you want the tea on Oyo's wild strategy and access to all of our other members-only bonus segments here on the pod, head to membership.citycast.fm/Las Vegas to sign up and unlock today's bonus segment. In the meantime, though, guys, that's all we got for today's show. So, Rob, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. Our executive producer is Layla Muhammad. Our creative producers are Jacob Solis and Rob Katchelreese. And I'm your host, Jesse Merrick. We have additional production support by Katie McMurn and Francisco Kilgore. Music is by OG Moose. Our ad music is by Sven Lindvall and Sarah from the Epidemic Sounds via Getty Images. We record this show on the traditional homelands of the Nuuvi, the Southern Paiute people. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend? Rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our free morning newsletter as well. And don't forget, you can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor at membership.citycast.fm/Las Vegas. We'll be back on Monday morning with more news from around the city. Until then, though, take care.